people often think that the height of the chair has to be with the size of the person. But it doesn't have to do with the size of the person. It has to do with the length of the upper arm. If the upper arm is short, clearly you have to bring yourself to a level where, again, the elbow will be on the same level as the keys. If you have a very long upper arm that extends all the way down, the chair will have to come up. Whatever it is, you have to end up with an elbow that extends like on a straight plane this way.
Her feet go flat on the footstool like that. Oh, so she's resting down in her feet, in her seat, and in her fingers on the keys. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Now, is our elbow level with the tops of the white keys? No. We are low. So we must raise the bench. Here we are, action shot, raising the bench. Are we level yet? Are we level? Are we level? Are we level? Okay, keep your wrist up. Don't drop the wrist. Keep there. Keep it up. All right, here's your elbow, and here's the, ooh, and we even have a little up of the shoulders, so you know what, that's okay. When the bench fails us, I have bench extensor, ta-da! Now, feet flat on the floor, weight all the way in, gotta get your heels there, fingers on the keys. Oh, this is much better. Look at this, you take a book, and you could do like that. Oh, perfecto. Is your shoulder up? No. Very good. Do you have a nose? Yes, you do. Okay. What are we going to play first?
Both. I've been practicing.
At the same time? Okay. Are your feet flat on the floor? So you're equally balanced between your feet and your seat and your fingers on the keys. And you know, there's this test that you can do to see if you're the right height. Put a book here. If the bottom of the elbow is level with the tops of the white keys, then that's pretty good. I always check, though, to make sure those shoulders are not too high and that people aren't holding out with the elbow. The green team, what is your practice tip for everybody?
I'm going to show them how to sit, get prepared on the piano.
Okay, so what is this down here?
It's a stool.
Because our feet don't reach the floor all the way? How do you use it? Show us how you use it.
When you're sitting and your feet aren't flat on the floor, then you're not sitting right.
Okay.
And you're supposed to.
So you just scooted forward on the edge of the bench, so you're on the edge, and now your feet are flat on the floor. Good. What was it we learned about flat on the floor? Is it just the tippy toes, or is it?
The whole foot.
Okay, so even the heel, just like you're doing, that's really good. That's a good practice. First off, how are we sitting? I think you could be sitting on the front part of the bench more. Could you scooch forward? And I think part of the problem is that footstool's too high for your legs. So how's about, so if we do this, that helps, but you know, your feet aren't still not flat on the floor with a heel resting comfortably.
But if I'm too far, that's what happens.
So if you scooch forward on the bench, how's that? You feel like your feet are flat on the floor? I think you could have one more cushion though. So what if we just add, watch your feet now, beep, 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 beep. Two more, now sit down and let's show them how that is a better balance. Perfect. Are you on the front part of the bench? Are you scooched forward? Scooch forward. Oh, very good.
When we sit up, everything is held up. Again, the upper arm is holding up, everything is holding up, and there is no support behind the fingers. That makes it very difficult to play. So very often, people, what they do, they'll bring some hand support behind the fingers, and when you do that, you already have a break in the wrist. There's a break in the unity. It doesn't have to be much. It's enough to break even a little bit. The moment it doesn't feel unified, it's a break, even if it's a very small break. So when you bring this down, it breaks the unity. Also, the weight of the arm falls into the wrist, and that's one of the main reasons for wrist pain and carpal tunnel syndrome, the low wrist. Also, the feeling is that you're falling off the keyboard, so the fingers begin to clench and to grab and to hang on to the keys, and that creates tightness. Another possibility is that sometimes in order to bring some of the forearm weight behind the fingers, the shoulder will come down. And that is one of the reasons for literally a pain in the neck and the shoulder, when the shoulder comes down like this. And all that fatigue that is created in the upper arm often causes the upper arm to relax, so all the weight falls down on the fingers and the fingers can't move. Now, when we sit too low, the elbow is below level, as you see, not where it should be, and the weight ends up falling all the way into here, into the elbow. Now, when that happens, again, the feeling is that of falling off, and the fingers again clench to hold onto the keyboard. So that's one way of creating tension right away. And of course, you don't have the arm and the hand available to support the fingers in key descent. So what often will happen is to bring some hand behind the fingers, the wrist will go up.
If you sit too low, the wrist goes up. Did you see how when she first went there, her wrists were too high? Sometimes they raise their shoulders trying to get their elbow level. Is that comfortable?
Yeah.
No.
Now, when the wrist goes up, you're breaking the unity up. Whether it's two up or two down, it's a break in the unity of the hand and the forearm. So very often the wrist will go up, the elbow is still down, you have a double break here. And too high a wrist creates pain in the wrist also, and irritation all around here. So this is one thing that people sometimes do. Another thing that they will do to get, it's so awkward to be in this position that often the shoulder will go up to bring some of the forearm weight behind the fingers, and this is how people end up with high shoulder. And they're often being told to relax that shoulder, but when it relaxes, it goes back to the other position. All the things that we get, all the pains that we get are symptoms. That's what we have to realize. We can't treat the symptoms, we have to find what is the cause to those symptoms. So very often, again, the shoulder goes up, and that creates pain in the upper arm, and the neck, and the shoulder, and the back muscles. This is an enormously inefficient and incoordinate way to start playing. If you're sitting level with the keyboard, again, that allows all the parts to be right there, available, and many people do it. I have to make again a point that when I discuss all the different aspects of movement, don't think you're doing it all wrong. Don't start changing, because you may be doing many, many things correctly, and there could be one thing that is wrong that is not enabling other good things to function. It's spoiling them. So it's very important not to do this without asking the teacher.